Welcome to the AI development series with Sayar Joey. I'll be covering how to create a rec setup using n8n AI automation platform so that your AI chatbot adheres to your dataset. Retrieval augmented generation is used for the AI chatbot because you need to go beyond the pre-trained knowledge of the LLM by giving it your trusted and up-to-date data, which is probably private enterprise data. And we're using n8n because it is a low-code, no-code platform for AI automation. Think automation frameworks like Selenium or Appium, but for AI. Today, we're going to be talking about how to create a rec setup using n8n AI automation platform. So we have n8n.io website where you can learn more about n8n, and we're going to be using Docker for today. If you're new to Docker, it's a great tool to actually set up a container of pretty much any OS that you may want to use, whether you're a beginner or a seasoned expert, say your cloud or on-prem environment, or even on your laptop, it works great. And I love VS Code. If I'm working on my Ubuntu or Linux, I may go with Nano or VI, but any other day, it's definitely VS Code, right? So let's get started. So a little bit of disclaimer here. I'm going to be talking about a little bit of details. Those of you with experience may already know. So beginner stuff. So let's go slow here, right? First, so the goal for today is to create a RAG system, a Retrieval-Augmented Generation, in 30 minutes or less. So hopefully you can keep up with the pace here, and we get a RAG setup going after 20 or 30 minutes or so, right? So simply put, we really want to go beyond the pre-trained knowledge of an LLM by giving it your own data. It can be private enterprise data, or if you're a student, it can be any subjects that you're taking, right? Give it a PDF and then, see if your chatbot can take that exam as well as you do. So that's the idea here, all right? So first of all, I have Docker running on my machine here. So I played around with it, a couple of things here, right? So right now, I'm on the terminal on the Docker desktop. You can turn on and off the terminal over here on the bottom right. And first thing first, I'm going to check where I'm at. And I'm at AI Dev folder, and I'm doing a rag with n8n demo, right? So I'm in the right place, and I'm going to do a ls command to see my Docker compose file is really there. So it is there, and this is a very simple, pretty much standard Docker compose file to set up n8n container on your machine here. So I've given it a name, n8n rag demo, and we're going to be using 5678 as a port number, and it's a local host. We're going to be running it locally, and this is a demo, so I'm going to be using very simple username and password. So if you're going to use it, you're going to set it up for enterprise, for your customer. Please don't do this, right? From cybersecurity perspective, change it up for much stronger, much better username passwords right here, and the data volume will be named n8n rag demo data, right? So we need this Docker compose to actually set it up, right? So what I'm going to do is a very simple Docker compose command, and we should be good to go. All right, let's do this. As we can see here, under container, we have our rag with n8n. Under that folder, we have the n8n rag demo, and it's already available at localhost :5678. And if you wish to stop, you can stop it on the right, or you can actually do more options here. All right, cool. And just to be sure, go under volume. You will see n8n rag demo dash data, right? So the data is going to be kept there, and let's give it a whirl. The very first time you're running n8n, it will ask you to set up. So just do a quick, simple setup, right? So I'll be using a very simple password, and let's click next. Let's get started. And here, just hang on a second here, right? It's very important to get the free license key. So go ahead and click that, right? And then, well, it says that your key is on the way. Check your email. Copy that from the email and go to bottom left, setting, usage and plan, and it says on the right the button enter activation key. Click that and paste your key there to activate. You are good to go. Let's get familiar with the n8n workspace here. So on the left you see overview, personal. Right in the middle, you can start creating your own workflow, the very first one. Before that, let's go to personal here. It says under workflows, you have nothing there. Credentials, obviously nothing. You haven't executed any workflows, and no data, obviously. So let's go back to workflow and let's create something from scratch. All right, so as you can see here, right at the top, we're in the editor, and then you can go look at executions that you have run, and the evaluations. So there's a big plus sign in the middle, and there's a small plus sign on the right. Either way, you can get started. You can set up RAG is to have like a web page, right? To upload a PDF file. That's your data, and then you can embed it, and then when someone is using your AI chatbot, from the prompt, they can actually prompt the AI chatbot however way they want to, and then the AI chatbot answers according to the data that you have given, and no more than that, right? That's the idea. First, we want a form, right? So you can use the n8n form. Let's go with that and trigger on new n8n form events. That's exactly what we want. So we have a test URL and the production URL, right? You can play around with that. For demo sake, no authentication, right? Give it a title, data for RAG, upload your data file, and we just want to input a file, right? So we want to add attributes to that element, and just one file, and accepted file type, let's do PDF, and let's make it so that you really have to upload a file here, right? So single file, PDF type, and required field. Once you have done that, the next step you want to do is add a simple vector store. All right, so let's look it up here, and we find a simple vector store here, and we really needed to add documents to the vector store, right? So if you're following along, you will see that in the operation mode, we just want to insert document, and memory key, we're going to use vector store key, and in terms of embedding batch size, default is 200, so let's just use that. All right, and then you will see that in the simple vector store, you have embedding and document. All right, so click document first, and you will find a default data loader. What you need to do, we just want to make sure that type of data is binary, and the rest of the setting looks fine to me. For text splitting, let's just do a simple approach, right? For every 1,000 character, there's a 200 overlap. So simply put 20%, right? So let's go with that for now, okay? And for the embedding, so we really want embedding Google Gemini. All right, let's click that. So first thing first, do we have an account with Google? Well, if we do, we want to create new credentials for it. So this is a host, this is the API key. Do we have that? Well, we can create one right now. All right. Okay, so I have created a project, so it shows up here. So if you haven't already, So go to the top left corner, and it says Open Project Picker. Click that, three dots, click the three dots, and then you can choose whichever project you want. And well, we want a new project, right? A clean project. So let's give it a name here. And organization doesn't really matter, right? Let's go ahead and create that. Under notifications, it shows that the project has been created. Okay, so I want to make sure that I'm in the right project. So I go back again to the project picker and then pick my newly created project. Okay, so what I'm looking for is I want to add Gemini API. Okay, so go to the navigation bar here on the left, and under APIs and services. All right, so click that. Under API and service, I want to make sure that the Gemini API is already there for me. Okay, under enabled APIs and services, let's look for Gemini API. It is not there. So what do? We go to the library on the left, and then we look for Gemini API. So Gemini API is there. Let's go ahead and enable that. Once it's done, what we want to do is we want to check under enabled APIs and services that Gemini API is there, and we find it there, so it's great. So after that, we want to go to the credentials. Under credentials, we look for API keys, none there. Near the top, click create credentials and choose API key. Okay, let's give it a name, REGNAN demo, and select API restrictions. I'm going to look for Gemini API. Can select it. All right. Why? Below that it says authenticate API calls through service account. All right. Check that. So do we have a service account? I don't think so. This is a new project, right? So let's go ahead and create a new account. So what you will notice is under IAM, right? Identity and Access Management. It's under service accounts, and then create service account. So let's create one, give it a simple name, and just click create. Because permissions are optional and this is a demo, let's just continue. And same thing, let's click done, be done with it. So we have just created a service account. Right, so let's come back to this old tab, previous tab, click refresh, our newly created service account. So let's select that, right? And then go back to API and restriction. We see Gemini here. Let's go with that. All right. From good cybersecurity practice, you want to be restricting as much as you can, so you don't give access control or privileges any more than you really need to, right? So right now, this is a demo yet again. So let's just go ahead and create it, right? So in actual production, let's not do that, right? Let's be more specific and be very selective with our choices here. All right. So the important thing here is that you have the API key that we're looking for here, right? So just click copy, and then we'll go back to the Gemini. Sorry, we'll go back to the n8n workflow and paste that. We want to see what it is pasting, right? Click expression. So okay, let's save that. And it says connection is tested successfully. Just to be sure, double check that, right? It's working well. And here, selected by default is 004. We want to select a very simple one. 001 is the text embedding, right? We're not doing anything crazy here. So click 001. We're okay with that here. All right. So we are doing okay here. So right here, we have form submission, and the vector store is speaking to data loader and the embedding. All right. So let's try this out. Click execute flow. As you can see here, the web page is asking for data, PDF file, right? So I'm going to go ahead and click it. Okay, I have just selected a PDF file. It's a PDF file. It's a file on critical thinking and reasoning. I teach an undergrad course in software engineering, and one of the module is the critical thinking and reasoning. So I'm going to be using that. Click submit. So you'll see on the right, workflow executed successfully. That looks good. So close that. You can see a few things here, right? So double click on form submission. What you will see is the user uploaded a PDF file, and as an output, what you will see is in terms of binary, right? The mime is the type is PDF. This is a file size. This is a file name, right? You can download it to actually see you get that PDF data back. And I prefer JSON. It gives you a little more metadata and easy on the eye. Love the JSON format, right? And then if you go to simple vector, double click that. So you'll see that the input is the PDF file, and the output, guess what, is the embedding batch sizing, right, by 200. So this is what you will see, right? The whole thing here, right? So PDF form, another format, right? So JSON form is really good. And that output from the vector store is provided to, you will see here 23 items here, to the data loader and the Google Gemini, right? So that is the portion where we're actually taking the PDF and then just doing what we need to do so that when the AI chatbot, when prompted, will use this data to actually answer questions, right? That's where the augmentation comes from. Retrieval-Augmented Generations, right? That's where it comes from. Alrighty. The next step is to actually set up the chat and prompt portion of the chatbot. So on the right, we can click the plus sign and look for chat, right? So click chat, and it says under trigger on new chat event. Select that, and the standard default options are just fine. Drag it to center it. So we want to add an AI agent. So click the plus sign on the right and look for AI agent, right? So that's the one. And it says here it's connected to the chat trigger, and the standard default configuration looks fine to me. And let's make sure of that. We'll just add a simple chat model here. So click the plus sign, and we are looking for Google Gemini chat model. So just click that, and let's make sure we have the right credentials here. Click the pencil icon on the right, and over here, click expression. That doesn't look like your API key, so copy and paste that, and let's save it. Okay, and again, let's double check to make sure the connection is okay. All right, and right here, we're going to go ahead and select the Gemini 2.5 Flash. If you have any paid version, feel free to use that. We will add a simple vector store here. All right, so it says it's going to retrieve documents for the AI agent. All right, so description is use the knowledge base to respond to prompts. All right, memory key, vector store key, it's fine, right? So let's just go ahead with that. Let's make it align here. So let's zoom out a little bit here, right? So in the vector store, you need embedding, right? We have done setting up Google Gemini embedding. So click and drag it over here, right? So it's going to use the same Google embedding, and it looks fine to me. All right, so here's a n8n pro tip. I want to refresh now and then just to make sure. Make sure what? Sometimes it acts a little weird. It looks good to me, so I'm going to go ahead and publish it. All right, let's get it going, right? So execute workflow, right? So we see this web page again asking us for data. So I'm going to choose it, use the same PDF file, submit it. Okay, so I expect workflow executed successfully on the right, and it shows. And here's a chat prompt area. So I'm going to say hello. So a decent reply. Once we have published it, I'm going to go ahead and try to execute the entire workflow. So click execute. And again, we're prompted with the web page asking us for data. I'm going to choose the same PDF file and I'm going to submit. So we expect it to be executed successfully, and it is. And in the prompt, I'm going to say, what is critical thinking? And that topic is covered in the PDF, so I expect a decent answer from it. So we can see that the whole right side of the workspace lit up in green, right? And then the answer is not too bad. Critical thinking is the process of looking beyond surface assumption, yada yada yada, right? So it's fairly okay, right? So now let's ask a question that it shouldn't be able to answer because it doesn't cover in the PDF, and I don't expect a decent answer from it or any answer at all. All right, so it says, I apologize, I couldn't find any information on the solid software principles, and that is exactly what we're looking for here. If it is not in the PDF, we don't want it, right? So, well, there you go. You can see that how RAG is helping AI chatbot with your private enterprise data. And if you're a student, whatever subject or the topic that you're studying, so it will narrow and it will be bounded to that data that you're providing it, right? Okay, so now that we have a very simple, say 7 to 8 nodes to run a reg setup in n8n AI automation, we want to make sure that we know how to download it to share it with your friends, coworkers, or your customer. So let's download that, and it gives me in a JSON format. Okay, so let's go and see what's in it. All right, let me open it in my VS Code. All right, so it looks fairly standard to me, pretty much all the configuration that we need to set up a project that we just created. And the good thing to note is that your credentials, whatever that you have configured, it is not stored in the plain text. So that's the upside. The downside is that once you actually set up the project using that JSON file, you have to include the credentials yet again. So let's give it a try. And what I'm going to do is go to personal and create a new workflow. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the JSON file that we have just downloaded, and voila, it's there. Okay, so of course you have to set up your credentials as I've explained. Hopefully no errors or no issues. Then you should have completed the project in maybe 20-30 minutes. Okay, so that's it. I hope you had fun and learned something new. Once you have end-to-end understanding of an AI project with n8n AI automation platform, you can learn to use frameworks such as LangChain and Llama Index with Python to create enterprise AI apps and APIs. I've trained interns, juniors, and seniors in software development, quality assurance and software testing, and DevOps internationally across 5 countries for 2 decades. So I've experience ramping up tech teams to learn, understand, and execute projects using technologies such as cloud, blockchain, and AI within the constraints of enterprise software and infrastructure. In my AI development course by Sayar Joey, I cover n8n AI automation platform along with AI development using Python with LangChain, Hugging Face, and more. Comment AI Deploy to fast track your AI career in just 2 months of intensive prototyping, coding, deploying, and shipping AI apps and APIs. And like and follow if you're serious about improving your AI skills.